Hi, you guys. Welcome to the last EFT Catalyst Challenge live I will be doing. So, actually, I'll probably be going live more because I'm loving these EFT sessions. But if you have been a part of this challenge and watching along as I do these tapping sessions, I'm so glad that we get to spend the last week and a half together. And today's tapping, I'm going to do, hey, Mary, we're going to be tapping into next level goals in your business. So, this is actually going to be more of a fun one. I know a lot of times when we do these tap-in sessions, it's to kind of remove negative feelings and blocks, but you can also use tapping to reprogram your subconscious for new things. And if you're feeling any sort of stagnation around goal setting, maybe even goal setting trauma, like sometimes when we set goals that feel really far away and we don't hit them over and over and over again, we lose confidence. That's what this is going to be for. Also, for just tapping into new goals. Now, I want to share an analogy that will help you when it comes to goal setting. And it's this. I didn't create this. I actually heard this from, I'm going to forget his name. Dr. John Conley. He created RRT. And so this is an analogy he explained. And what a lot of people do when they're setting goals in their business is they set goals that are really, really, really far away. And what happens is if a goal is super far out, your unconscious won't even go after it because it feels completely impossible. So the motivation and the interest to do what you need to do to achieve that goal isn't really there because your unconscious is like, why? Like, it's not going to happen. So the analogy he gave was, it's kind of like if you were to learn, actually, I'll just tell the story. This is how he told the story. There were a bunch of guys who were in boot camp and they were learning how to shoot long distance. So they had an expert come in who was going to teach them how to shoot long range rifles, shoot long distance targets. And so the expert came in, taught them everything that he knew about shooting long range. And these soldiers lined up time and time again, shot at the target and could not hit the target long distance. No matter how much he taught them, no matter how much they focused on it and tried to make it happen, like they could not hit this target that was far away. So they had a new expert come in and she actually brought the target 1 foot away from each of the soldiers. And she said, okay, go ahead and hit the target. So they're like, okay, this is easy. So they went and hit the target. She moves the target 2 feet away, tells them to shoot. They all hit the target. She moves it 3 feet away. They all shoot. They all hit the target. Eventually, she moves the target back, and they keep hitting it until she moves it all the way back to where it was when they were trying the first time, and they're able to hit the target. And the point of this story is that you want your goals to be far enough away that they're interesting and they feel doable, close enough that they're interesting and feel doable, but far enough away that you're still a little bit challenged. That is where we want to set our goals. So I'm not saying don't dream big. You want to have a big vision, but you want to break that down into more achievable, process-oriented goals. Instead of shooting for that target that is way out, 10 years out, let's set a goal that is going to help you build confidence because it's close enough, it feels doable, but far enough away, it feels interesting and exciting and achievable, okay? That's what we want to do when we're setting our goals. And also you want to set process-oriented goals in your business. So setting a goal for, 5K months is great, but it's not really going to help if you don't have a process to get there. You want to set goals that are process-oriented, meaning like, what can I do every day? What little tiny steps can I take every day that are going to help me hit that big goal? The steps, and this is the last thing I'll say about this, the steps that you take to hit the goal should feel how you want to feel when you achieve the goal. That is so important, and most people are going to miss this, and they're not going to do what I'm about to tell you. The steps that you take to achieve the big goal. So let's say your goal is like 5K months, okay? Whatever steps you take, whatever process you implement to hit that 5K should feel how you think you're going to feel when you're at 5K. So let's say you tune into the goal of 5K and you're like, oh my gosh, that would feel so grounding and safe. Okay, well then the actions you need to take should feel that way. If you're taking a bunch of actions that feel like they're draining your energy, they're forceful, they feel really stressful, those are not going to get you to the 5K because first of all, they're not the same vibrational frequency. But additionally, you can't get there from here. You can't get to a goal if everything you're doing to reach the goal is opposite of how that goal would feel. It's kind of like, I've said this before, it's kind of like trying to build your dream body, but everything you're doing to get your quote unquote dream body is making you miserable. You're dieting, you're crash dieting, you're not eating, you're working out 3 hours a day. You may get to that goal, but I guarantee you're going to lose that weight or gain it all back or be miserable because it's not sustainable. Okay? All right, so without further ado, that was my little storytelling time. Let's dive into the tapping session. So I want you to feel into one specific intention or goal that you have for the rest of May. Okay, it's May 10th at the time of this recording. If you're listening to this in another month, think about whatever month it is for you. Think about one big intention or goal you have for the month of May or whatever month it is for you at the time of listening. And I want you to tune into how doable does that goal feel? 10 being like, oh my gosh, 100%, I know I can do this. I know it's happening. And 1 being like, I don't think this is happening. Like, this feels really hard, okay? I like to close my eyes when I'm tuning into whatever my number is and think about the goal. Okay, so feel into that for a moment. And if you want, comment below. Let me know what your number is and where you're starting at. Okay, now we're going to start tapping once you have that number in mind. Starting with the karate chop point. Even though this goal and this intention I have feels exciting and it feels like something I want to do, there's a part of me that feels like this isn't really possible. And even though I really want to achieve this intention and this outcome, it just feels like it's just not possible for me, or maybe it's not possible in the amount of time that I want it to happen in. But I deeply love, honor, and accept myself. It feels like I want to hit this goal, but it just feels really far away. It feels like something that I don't know if I can do, honestly. I've never done it before. When I have, it's felt really hard. But I deeply love, honor, respect, and forgive myself. And even though this goal feels really big and it feels really out there, I feel a little resistance to letting this goal in. I deeply love, honor, and accept myself. And now follow along with the points. All of this resistance I feel towards letting this be easy. All of this doubt that this can happen, this doubt that I am capable of this is possible for me. And all of this evidence of times that this hasn't worked before, hasn't happened before, just kind of weighing on me. It's in the back of my mind. It feels like it's stuck in my body. I just don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can achieve this outcome. I don't know if this goal is going to happen. And I feel a little bit, insert how you're feeling. I feel a little bit discouraged. I feel a little hopeless. I feel a little stressed. Whatever you're feeling, just keep tapping and focus on those feelings and say those to yourself, even though I'm feeling blank. Even though it feels like this has been hard in the past. Even though it feels like it's just not going to happen for me. All of this doubt, all of this insecurity, all of these feelings of pressure and fear. Choosing to let these feelings go now. I'm choosing to drop this resistance now. I'm choosing to tap into my power and let these heavy feelings go of this isn't going to happen. It's not possible. You've tried before. Whatever's coming up for you, just kind of start thinking that in your mind. All of this resistance and all of these beliefs telling me this can't happen for me. This isn't possible for me. I don't have what it takes. All of this stories playing about how I've tried this before and it didn't work, or I tried this before and it can happen, but it takes a lot of effort, it takes a lot of struggle. Ooh, let's tap on that. All of this struggle I've associated with this particular goal. All of this struggle I've associated with this particular outcome and this goal. All of the struggle, all of the fear, all of the tension, all of the lack, all of the stories about how this isn't possible. Choosing to let that go now, letting that go from anybody who's ever programmed this into me, from my cells, from my lineage, letting it go from my DNA, letting it go from my aura, letting it go from every single aspect of my being. Take a deep breath, think, release. Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you at? You may have moved down a little bit. If not, you can go back through this round again. You can do this every single day if you want until you get really solid around those goals. I'm going to do one more round, but this time we're going to do reprogramming in some positive affirmations around those goals. Hey, Laura. So this is going to be a positive affirmation round. I trust that everything is adding up for me. And I love knowing that even if I can't see it happening, the compound effect is always working in my favor. Everything is stacking up. Little wins are stacking up. And in fact, I am always looking for evidence of how things are working out. I'm really, really good at finding little tiny pieces of evidence, like a motherfucking FBI agent, of the things that are working out. And I am so good at celebrating those small wins because those are what add up to the big thing. I know that I can achieve any of these intentions, any of these goals, any of these outcomes because I've done things that are way harder than this. Now I want you to keep tapping, but think of a time that a memory is going to come to mind very quickly of a peak moment in your life when you did something, you overcame something, you achieved something that you once thought you were never going to be able to achieve, and you did it. And that moment when you're like, oh my God, I did it. Tapping on that feeling and that emotion, and that memory is going to come to mind now, and you're going to just revel in that energy of how proud you are of yourself and how excited you feel. And just remember and affirming, I have done way harder things than whatever this goal is. This is easy for me. This is like child's play for me. I could do this shit in my motherfucking sleep because I did that. And that was really hard at the time. But see, that's what we have to remember. Hindsight's 20/20. What got you there will get you to the next place. You were once the person who thought that you could not achieve that goal, and you did. Just like you will once be the person very, very, very soon who will achieve something this month that you thought you couldn't just last month. The person that got me there will get me where I want to go again because I am that person. Keep tapping on the sensations of that emotion, of that memory, of that peak state when you did something that you didn't think you could do, and affirming, this is easy for me. This is a walk in the park. Every day gets easier and easier and easier. Take a deep breath, exhale. Again, feel free to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. Now, you can come back and do this as often as you want. If you really want to get focused on goal setting, I feel like there's seasons in business. Sometimes I'm in a season of winter. Seasons are normal, right? Everybody needs to go through winter, spring, summer, fall. Sometimes I'm in a season of winter where I'm not outwardly focused on achieving goals. I'm more like in a reserved kind of, healing mode, rejuvenation season. And then other times I'm in season where I'm like, let's go get the motherfucking goals. And that's kind of this, I'm in a spring season right now where I'm like, let's go get the goals. So this is perfect to tap on when you're in that season. So come back. This will be on my YouTube. It'll also be here. And then make sure I have a gift I'm sending out to everybody who registered for this challenge today. So click the link in my bio, click the one that says EFT Business Catalyst Challenge, register. That way you get the email coming out later with the special gift. And then, save this, come back to it. I love you guys and have a good Wednesday. Bye.